Hello guys and welcome back to Confined to 681's Minecraft Adventures, and today we're going to be building a fairly important building in the Let's Play world. I haven't quite decided where I want to put it yet though. If we have enough time this might turn into two buildings, but I would like to build the building that houses our auto smelters. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to build one from my the structure from my long-term world, which is basically a tower. It can house, or looks more like a battlement, but it can house 3 auto smelters. And I'm thinking of putting it right there, so between here and the village. So yeah, that's probably the location I'm going to choose. I'd also like to get it, if I have enough time for it, I would like to build a structure for the enchanting table, because having it out in the open just kind of invites creepers to blow it up, which is not fun. So yeah, with today's episode goal so plainly stated, I say we jump right into it and get started. Now, I'm actually gonna start this out doing something a little different. If you remember on the world tour, we came across a wolf variety that I didn't yet have. There must be a cave under that hill. And it was just kind of roaming around out here living its best life. So, if I can find it, there it is. We now have a new wolf friend. And I got these bones just AFKing up there at the thing. It's a little close to the ground, so it's not the best efficiency it could possibly be. Who would have thought the ground would be a bit too close to it? Who could have foresaw this coming? Probably everyone. Now I have a data pack on my server which I might install here that these guys can teleport. Makes their teleporting a bit better. Also, if you die, they teleport to you when you respawn. Not that I plan on dying. Oh yeah, before I hit the record button, a band of pillagers showed up, and I showed them who this land belongs to. Me. So we have another banner to add to the collection. Now, yes, I know you can put banners on shields. I don't like doing it with these because they just don't look right. Why do you do this? Why, Squid? Why? Live. Oh. I could have saved that one, but I was too late. This has been a thing since 1.13 is when I first noticed it. Actually, I think I commented on it back then too. So yeah, I'm gonna get some building supplies here. Now, in my actual long-term world, it was built out of stone bricks because it was built long before Deep Slate. So, in the honor of building things out of resources we have readily available on hand, which has pretty much been everything up to this point. I'm also thinking about putting the lava farm in the basement of this place. That way we can get rid of that structure over there and use the space for something else. Because that space over there could be where the enchanting thing goes. Okay. That's a good enough footprint. Now for the floor, I don't want to use wood because, like I said, I might be putting the lava farm in the basement of this place. And last thing you'll want is for your floor to catch fire. That's typically not what we call optimal. I'd like to use some other block other than deep slate for the floor. I was thinking andesite. Actually, deep slate tiles could be a vibe. Tile slabs. There we go. Oh, that'll work. Okay. I want it to kind of have its just own vibe. Actually, do I have any copper? Because if not, that might be a problem. A copper door could look quite nice on this. Unfortunately, when I was testing stuff out for the resource pack before the blue slime was a thing, I was testing to see whether copper doors, I think I said this in an episode, I was testing to see whether copper doors were zombie proof, as it were, and unfortunately they are not. Which, I gotta say, I said at the time, I'm a little disappointed in that. Because it would be nice if they were, since they are, copper's not that strong. But it would have been nice to have another zombie-proof door aside from just iron doors, because having to use a button all the time does kind of wear on a person. And you can't use trapdoors, because if you use trapdoors, then yeah, you could use a trapdoor as an entrance. If you do it right, then baby zombies couldn't even get in. But iron doors kind of wear on a person having to press the button every time you want to go in or out. So, in light of that, I think the copper door, if it were zombie-proof, would have been nice. But alas, it's not. But that doesn't mean we can't use it for builds. I thought about putting one on the house just to represent the update. Now, here's where we gotta be smart with the resources. So we're not really saving that much by using slabs over other blocks. But we do a little, and that little bit does add up over time. I'm going to need to go up a little bit, and then we're definitely going to need some ladders, which, thank God, I have a lot of ladders. I have so many ladders. We're going to need some stairs, so this looks right on the outside. Be nice to have a little bit of scaffolding, too. Just so I could actually go around the outside of this. I could use dirt, because it's easy enough to break. I might do that, actually. Because it's easier to do the upside down stair bit from the outside than it is from up here. Alright. I'm gonna go a little bit three more higher. I don't want to go too high, but I also kind of want this place to have a little bit of a view from the roof. Oh, if I wanted the best view, up there would be the best view. Which, built that in the last episode. It's not so efficient because of that hill over there. Even at a 2-chunk render distance, it's still just bad. So I need to light the air, wait till night sometime and light that area up at night. Okay, good. It went straight. The water straight beeline for that hole. So what do we need? We need ladders and stairs. Ladders. And how much dirt do I have? It's getting dark. The dirt's gonna have to serve as pseudo scaffolding because I don't actually have scaffolding. Which, that's unfortunate. Where's a good place for the ladder? Here will do. I've done this before, and basically what you want to do when placing your pseudo scaffolding in, or actual scaffolding, which dirt's kind of the OG scaffolding of Minecraft. Dirt and netherrack. Though I'd say dirt's really the OG scaffolding, because netherrack, in my opinion, makes I used it as such in Exploring 1.19 featuring Warlord 1987. But netherrack, in my opinion, makes a better outline. For where you're going to build something. And this is why I built the scaffolding. That way I can see that I'm building this correctly, because I've done this before and messed it up, and then actually had to go back and do it over again, which is obviously not a fun process. So if you can do it right the first time and verify you're doing it right the first time, that's typically the way to go. Also, I didn't take that out quite as far as I would have liked, but that's fine. Alright. Going back around now, we can get rid of this. Even a non-efficiency level at all diamond shovel mines dirt pretty quickly. So if you don't have anything else to use for scaffolding, or you want a block that you can break quick, dirt's the way to go. Well, in my case, like I said, I could have used netherrack, because with my pickaxe it would break pretty much instantly. Jump across. And now we collect our pseudo scaffolding. Okay. And whilst I'm doing this and looking for things to talk about, I think I have my verdict on leaf litter. It's a cool block, but it does kind of have a tendency to get everywhere. So, that being said, I'm neutral, verging on not really that big of a fan. Because sure, there are easy ways to clean it up if you've got a flat area, but it's having a flat area that's the slight problem there. But yeah, I've been around it long enough to have developed a slight opinion of it. So yeah, I would definitely not AFK in here. Because that could only go poorly with the copper doors. Unless I do get this area to a point where mobs don't spawn here at all, which is definitely my end goal. Or not end goal. That would imply that would be the end of the series. Which, no, it's not. Definitely not going to be the end of the series. That is my goal for this region, though, is make it to where I have a nice, sizable area that no mobs spawn on the surface. Caves, I don't really care about if they spawn in caves. Because that's what makes caving fun, after all, is the risk and reward of it. In my opinion. So, that being said, yeah, it should be bright enough in there. That being said, it does mean that the caves in this region would be quite a bit more difficult to go through. But, you know what? That would be fine with me. So, for one, this is going to be a lot of chest, isn't it? Okay, so I know for one we need 6 hoppers. I would also like to avoid using chest where I can, so I will use a few barrels. It's enough to do 2. I want to use barrels where and when I can. The barrels will be where the fuel goes. Later on, if a person wanted to, you could switch it out for shulker boxes. Okay, so for the first one... Oops, wrong furnaces. For this one... want to be blast furnaces. I also need to get proper storage set up. I know I've been saying that for like so many episodes, and it's just not happened yet. I'm genuinely sorry for everyone that is tired of hearing me say that. I've just been putting it off because it's not particularly exciting. But then again, I don't reckon this is particularly exciting either. Ooh, give me that, please. Thank you. I don't reckon this is particularly exciting either. So everything in moderation is what I'm trying to do. Is a little bit of building, a little bit of caving. And striking the right balance can be incredibly difficult. I'm out of iron. That is one more smelter. I need more chest. Now, granted, I have enough access to bones now. I could just bone meal a few big spruce trees and be on my way. Just to make sure these work. And that's something I'd actually like to, bring into my resource pack at some point, is I'd like to design a texture that shows where a hopper's pointing at from the top, specifically for situations like that. Now, I used to put levers on these, and so you could smelt one item and one item only to get the XP. Anymore, just break them, because you get the XP that way too. And that's also a good thing about these, is these save up a lot of XP. So it's possible to level up quite a lot in one go. One chest short. And boom. Let's break that, as we don't particularly need it. It's night. Oh no. The night is dangerous. Yeah, I don't I don't think I need to sleep as much anymore, because with bat membranes, phantoms basically are a non-issue because they're disabled. Plus, just having 2 protection, 4 pieces of armor does quite a lot. Pardon, 3 pieces. Like, it takes at least 2 skeleton arrows before I take damage, so protection is busted as an enchantment. So, and this setup here will work fine for a long time. One of these, which is technically for ore only. You can do it like that. Or just put it in one of these. It'll take a little bit longer, but it'll be fine. And if I wanted to, I could take and replace these with a chest and basically double the efficiency of it. Just depends what I need it for at the time. And yeah, I'd say this build is done. Actually, I'll call it good on that. I'll worry about the lava situation later. Again, another episode, because the next build I'd like to do it out of something other than deep slate. I've been using a lot of deep slate. And that's still not finished. I still got to do the top of that, which I'll probably do it. I've got a list of things I'm putting on for a beautification of the area project. Getting rid of that's one of them. I'd like to move the campfire to a better area, because that's the first campfire. I like to keep the first campfire around. I like to make it a small gathering area, so I need to build a spot for that. Yeah. You know what? I am going to build the underside of that. I've changed my mind. I've got a little bit of time left in this episode, and it's... There's no reason for me to not do this, is what I'm getting at. Because I've got enough time left. It's only 25 minutes. This shouldn't take me but a few minutes in reality. And it'll be worth getting that off the surface, and I can then build what I'm wanting to build there. I only need 2 buckets, realistically. And actually, that's closer to my house than this is. So, next episode, I'm going to be building the enchantment area there. Of course, it'll actually be a while before I actually move the stuff over there, because I don't really want to have to craft... Oh, I'm just now realizing what I've done. Oop. I've forgotten the important part of getting up and down vertically. And that is you need ladders. Which, to be honest, I really wish they would slightly buff the speed of going up and down ladders. Actually, coal is yes. Lapis? Lapis is also good. Lapis keeps the tools and armor shiny. Also, lapis blocks, as I've said before, are insanely good for flooring. For that matter, though, so are redstone blocks. This is one of the more difficult processes of installing ladders, is making sure the way down that they go is looking nice. That's not gonna work. Hey, no damage. I don't think ladders are flammable. Okay, good. But even so, I'm gonna go at least a few blocks this way before I open it up to where the actual lava farm's gonna be. primarily because I don't want to take the chance of the ladders catching fire. Because a suspicion that they're not flammable is not really good enough to go off of, and I'd rather not risk it. And I know the range for things catching fire is, I believe, 5 blocks from lava. But I don't want to be too over the top about it either. So I'm going to call that good enough, and then start installing the floor. Which we're not going to need any torches down here because it is going to be more than bright enough. Trust me when I say that. I'm just gonna have this be bricks. That back bit there, no one's ever gonna see. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do with the ceiling. Or coal. My inventory's full. That's an axe. I'm gonna have to go deposit. I will actually take the free cobblestone because I don't have a lot. And I typically, if I want cobblestone, have to go purposefully seeking it out. It used to not be a problem back when the layer to strip mine at was Y11. Because Deep Slate didn't exist, even when it did exist in 1.17. You still got overwhelmingly more cobblestone than anything else. So, used to have a reason to collect it. Now, not so much. You pretty much have to seek it out. Alright. Now to the coal. Alright. Funny thing was, mining that coal actually did a good amount of my work for me. So I'll take that. No, not there. Actually, you don't need to. Find that. I wonder, is diorite hate still a thing? If so, I don't really entirely understand it because it doesn't look that bad. Whoa! Of course, that's always a risk. Okay. What do I want to do for a ceiling, though? There must be a deep slate block that can fit there. You know what? Sure. Polished deep slate. I don't think deep slate has a cracked variant. That would be... That's something I actually wouldn't be too opposed to. Oh, no, not more coal. Well, now I'm obligated to mine it. If you see coal in Minecraft, you are obligated to mine it. It's such a waste not to. Well, if you have fortune, that is. If you don't have fortune, maybe it's best to leave it. Because, as I've stated before, as a fuel source, since it's something you might have to strategically mine for later game, it's kind of depreciated as a fuel source on that front. So, yeah, if you have the option of using lava, use lava. Especially if you have it in a way of renewable form. Like you have a... Say you don't have lava or lava source conversion enabled. Just build a lava farm. If you do have lava source conversion enabled, like I've got, you have infinite fuel, pretty much. Even still, I might build a lava farm later on. A traditional one, anyway. I say that like it's been in the game forever. It hasn't. It's only been in for a few updates. Oh, my chests are full. 7 apples. Let's put those over here. I also think now would be the time to... Yep. The golden apple collection's coming along quite nicely. I'm going to put these iron in here. and convert the rest of these into buckets. These will have to be used on a what am I smelting basis. I suspect... Yeah, no. Next episode probably won't be a mining episode. In fact, it'll be another building episode. And that I can say with pretty good certainty. For now, I'm going to put 9 lava buckets in there. That's 8. No, that's 7. So if I do that... Okay. Means I've got 2 spare. And I might place a few furnaces in here that aren't auto smelters, like in the corners or something. Way if I do have a not so large amount of stuff I have to smelt. Even still, the auto smelters is probably the best way to go about it. Okay, so I got one at essentially half capacity and then one at full capacity. Alright. With that, I think I'm going to end it here. This has gone longer than I meant it to. It just kind of struck me that actually doing the thing instead of putting it off for another time was the right way to go about it, because this has kind of just been an eyesore. Plus, it's kind of in the prime building spot for where I want to move that. So it's just better to get rid of it. And also, that brings up... I don't mind getting rid of this. It brings up another thing that doing the basement actually was efficient on some level, because the turtle's still there. Doing the basement gave me enough cobblestone to build the next structure I want to build, which is the area for the enchanting table, because I'm going to be rebuilding a structure from my long-term world, another one from a different area, but to basically how's the enchanting thing, or enchanting setup. So everything just kind of worked out, and weirdly so to that point. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to end it here. I forgot to mention at the start of the episode, I want to start bringing this up at the start when more people would be still watching, because viewer duration drops, or viewer duration's not very long. If you have build ideas, suggest them down in the comments. Granted, 5 episodes are out. No one suggested anything as of yet. And this is cutting into next week's time, so I am a week and a bit days ahead on a recording schedule, so if something comes out or has come out last week, I have not seen it yet as of recording this, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm just way ahead on the recording schedule, which is good, because that means basically all to be done is the editing. So I record en masse when I feel like recording, and then I edit gradually. Granted, these don't require a lot of editing, so they're easy to get out, which is a bonus for you guys because you get daily Minecraft videos. So yeah, with that, I've been Confined 2681, and I will catch you guys all in the next video. Peace.